What's up, vape fam? Today we're taking a look at the TFV8 from Smok, or Smok, or if you're fancy, Smoke. I don't know. I'm gonna call it Smok. The TFV8 is the new version of the TFV4, big brother, if you will. There's a few changes, but the biggest change is obviously going to be the wattage range. If you've seen the wattage on any of these coils. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll go up close for the breakdown. See what makes a vape. Alrighty, here we are up close with the TFV8 from Smok. This is the packaging it comes in. These are the coils that come with it. Some info including contents on the back. Warnings, instructions, barcode. And then little scan codes for the app and the scratch and sniff code. Pull the sleeve off, got this nice little box, slide the top off, and the first thing you're going to see is your tank. We're going to set this aside for the moment, focus on what else is in the box, pull the top up. Underneath that you have your instruction manual telling you how to disassemble it, how to put it together, fill it, coil replacement, on the back, a little how to build for the rebuildable section, so on and so forth. Again, the codes for their app. Put that aside. You get your authenticity card. You have an extra piece of glass. Always nice to have in these kits. A really thin vape band, much thinner than the norm. A bag of cotton for wicking your rebuildable. A bag of gaskets. A 510 adapter. A silicone washer, some extra screws, some extra grub screws, and another orange vape band. You also have an Allen key underneath your do not eat pack, buried way down here. There it is. And then inside the box you have two additional coils. This is the quad coil right here. Right here it lists the wattage rating. It's really nicely done. You can actually read it from the outside of the glass. So once the coil's in, even with liquid in, you can still see the wattage ratings for it. Single setup. They're all stacked up on top of each other. This coil, by the way, is huge. It is absolutely huge. They're all gigantic. And you're saying, well, the TFV4 coil was huge. Oh, there's a TFV4 coil. It is noticeably larger. The ID is larger, the OD of the coil is larger, it's just shorter. So much bigger than the other TFV4 coils. You also have your rebuildable, which is right down in here, and this thing is great. It comes with fuse claptons pre-installed in it. We'll just unscrew the cap on it. There you go. This is how it comes. It does come with a bag of cotton, but it does not come pre-wicked. Well, at least mine didn't. I don't think they do. It's really easy to wick. I'll show you that when we're done here with the breakdown, so that you have a quick little reference on how to do it. You can see the airflow holes are huge. I mean, there's like no resistance on this. The whole resistance, I think, comes from the chimney, because the airflow slots on the tank itself are also large. These are the wicking ports here. Airflow. Really well machined, really well assembled, easy to screw and unscrew the cap on, and really easy to wick. Good velocity style deck on it. It's kind of small post hole, so depending on what you build, you might run into issues there. But for the most part, you know, fuse claptons, 2-core builds tend to work as long as it's not anything bigger than like a 26 gauge. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tank, which I set aside. Here's the tank. Yes, I washed it out, so there's some water in there right now. Here is the drip tip. Again, there is a 510 adapter. It does have the swinging hinge style, like the TFV4 does. There's a little arrow. It is a really, really tight fit. It does have the same style gasket for filling. You just put the tip right in there to fill it. There is the chimney. And to close it, I actually have to push down on the lid and squeeze. It's a really, really tight fit to get this thing closed. and there's a lot of resistance when you open it. It seals really well. It was kind of an issue with the TFV4. It's much better now. Taking this apart, you can take the top cap and chimney off. There you go. You can see it is a conical design inside, tapered, not rounded. The threads are external. There is a gasket there, so if you lose that, you may experience some leaking, so make sure that that gasket is always there. I'm going to set this down. The glass pops right off after that, like so. Quick and easy. The coil unscrews from the base. You can see those bright orange O-rings for the glass there. This is the octuplet coil. 4 air passageways up through the coils. So they are 2 coils stacked up in 4 locations. Again, the airflow is massive. You've got 1 wicking channel for each set of coils, so 4 total. And then we have the base itself. There's a really tight airflow adjustment. I'm hoping it loosens up a little bit over time, but they are massive Cyclops slots. And then you have the bottom, which is recessed slightly, has your serial number, designed by Smok, and a protruding 510 pin. This protrudes quite a bit. I'll definitely say it's safe to use on hybrids. There's no question in my mind. It protrudes a lot. The camera might not even be doing it justice. All these edges, everything is clean of burrs, which is really nice. There's no machining issues with it. Going back to the coil here, just wanted to show you the wattage ratings here, if you can read that. It does say it goes up to 260 watts. It says that it also gives you the best range, which is 120 to 180, and I would agree with that. It's a much better vape around 180 than it is at 260. It gets really warm at 260 watts. So let me grab some cotton and some scissors, and I'll show you how to wick up the rebuildable section for this. Alright, got scissors. I've got cotton candy collection cotton, and I've got my rebuildable. So first thing, obviously, you're going to unscrew the top cap. Take that right off. That's going to expose the coils. So you can see I've used them a little bit. There's a little bit of darkening on them. Next, we're going to cut some cotton off. I love this stuff. And we're just going to pull some off and wick as usual. Roll the end. So we've got an easy way to set it through the coil. Pull it through. Now these are spaced, so you don't want to go too tight, but you want to make sure there is some resistance on the cotton itself. Cotton seems to be bunching up right there for some reason. There we go, nice and tight. Then we're going to snip the end. Now I want to make sure it's long enough to reach the bottom of that port. Over here is a little too long, so cut a little bit off. Like so. And then we will repeat the process for the other side. Pull some cotton off of here. Roll the end. Like so. Feed it through. Maybe. There it goes. Feed it through. Pull it through. It's a good snug fit there. Cut the ends. I'm just going to cut it even with the cotton on the other side. And like that. Next I'm going to take a small little screwdriver. I really like using these for tucking cotton into places. And just tuck it down into these side wick holes. Now the weird thing here is that these juice holes, the wicking holes, run underneath the posts, but the cotton will plug it up just like that. There is actually an opening. Let's see if I can see it here. Underneath that post. You see that post does not connect to the outer rim. So when you tuck the cotton down in, like so, it will seal off the area underneath that post as well. There you have it. Super easy. You see cotton down there? You're good to go. Let me put a little bit of juice on here and we'll reassemble this. A little bit of red cap again. Put some in the wicking holes. Put a little bit across the coils. There we go. Now, reassembly. Start with the base. Put this in here. I don't know why I like to do it in this order instead of putting the cap on first. Probably keep my fingers a lot cleaner if I put the cap on the rebuildable before I try to screw it in, but I seem to do this all the time. And then put the cap on. After that comes our piece of glass. Let's use the one I used before instead of the new one. There we go. Piece of glass. After that is our top cap and chimney. And then after that is just our tip. Just like that. Swing this open. Take the juice, push the tip right through, and fill her up. Close it off, push down, squeeze, there you go. And now she's ready to vape. So with that, let's go back up, talk about it, go over the pros and cons, and we'll vape on it. Alright guys, that was the up close and breakdown with the TFV8 from Smok. Interesting tank. The wattage range is crazy, and because I know you guys are going to want to see it, right now I'm at 200 watts on the octuplet coil. It says 260, this does 250 with the update. It's actually like 235 to 240-ish on a 0.15. So there you go. So this is going to be approximately 235 to 240 watts. The ramp up is instant. It will catch you off guard. It will make you choke if you are not prepared for it. So be ready for it. It really is just an insanely quick ramp up time at this kind of wattage. Watch. It's instant. 250 watts is vapable, but it's a little bit much. It really is. It is possible to do it. It will actually keep up, which is crazy. You would think the wicking wouldn't be able to handle it, but it does. It really does keep up. I haven't had any issues with it dry hitting, and I ran all day at 250 just to make sure. No issues. I do think that the TFV8 is a little bit weaker on flavor than the TFV4. A lot of people are already loving the TFV8. A lot of people love the TFV4. This definitely outproduces the TFV4 in terms of vapor output. It rips clouds like crazy. But the flavor is a little bit less than the TFV4. Now, I know that they're going to come out with more coils. There's already another coil on their website that I haven't seen yet for this tank. So maybe it's going to be the one that kind of fills in the gap for flavor. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I haven't tried it. But I know that the way they did it with the TFV4 was good out of the box, and then they kept coming out with more and more and more and more coils. So I'm assuming they're going to probably do the same thing with this. And if they do, this could really easily catch up in the flavor department as well. But right now, it's clouds. It just rips clouds like you wouldn't believe. I do think the quad coil setup is a little bit better flavor-wise. The octuplet coil is a little bit better vapor-wise. But the best of all is the rebuildable. That rebuildable section, the rebuildable part for this, the rebuildable deck, the RDA, the RBA, whatever you want to call it, is easily the shining point of this tank for me. It's easy to build, it's easy to wick, it comes with fused Claptons already out of the box, the flavor's great, the cloud production's great. It's a really, really great piece for this tank. These coils are huge, so there's a good amount of build room on the rebuildable. And despite what it says, calling it a 24.5 millimeter tank again, the glass does actually measure 25.5 millimeters, so keep that in mind. It does actually have parts on it that are over 25 millimeters. Why they call it a 24.5 millimeter tank, I don't know. It even says on their website the glass is 25.5 millimeters. It's got an oversized tip. The fit and finish on this is great. It is actually better than the original TFV4s. I bought the first round. The hinges on the lid weaken over time, and they get real sloppy and kind of loose, and you can kind of flip it open. And a lot of people end up running the vape bands on it to keep it closed. This is super, super tight. I mean, it is almost difficult to close it at times, but once this starts loosening up, it's going to be perfect. It's going to hit the money spot. So they've really come a long way. There's no sharp edges. There were no burrs on mine, even on the rebuildable, which surprised me because usually the Velocity style decks, you always find burrs around the post holes. Mine was smooth. It was great. Very impressed with the fit and finish on this thing. Now, again, flavor-wise, not the greatest. Probably still a little bit better than average. A lot of the tanks that are coming out these days. Who would I recommend this to? I'm going to start doing it as who I would recommend it to as opposed to whether or not I would recommend it. Who I would recommend this to, if you want a tank with pre-made coils for cloud chasing purposes, I would recommend it to you. If you want a tank that has good output cloud-wise, decent flavor, I would recommend it to you. If you want a tank that is straight up for flavor chasing, I would recommend you start somewhere else probably. It's not that the tank is bad, it's just that there's better tanks out there for flavor right now. I say right now because, again, more coils come out, that could change. It could change pretty easily because the tank really is well put together. It's really well done. It's got more airflow than the TFV4 did, about 18% if their measurements are to be believed. 6 milliliter capacity, and if you want a tank with pre-made coils in a really good build section to learn to build on, or just to have, or if you want a rebuildable tank, I would probably recommend this to you as well, because that rebuildable really is just a really well put together rebuildable section for a tank. Would I pick that over, I don't know, a new Vapors Cloud RTA or a lot of the new RTAs coming out? Maybe not. But for a insertable rebuildable deck style, absolutely, it's probably the best I've seen. So all in all, the O-rings too. I wish there were colored O-rings. The orange O-rings, just, they stand out, but not necessarily in a good way sometimes. I don't know. The orange just is not appealing to me. A lot of other tanks, if they come with a colored O-ring, they also come with a black one or a white one. I would have loved to have seen that. Maybe the TFV4 O-ring will fit on there. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Maybe I will. But other than that, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Like, subscribe. It helps me out. If you have any questions, comments, anything I didn't address, let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best to get to them. Might as well go out with a bang, and I'll pump this back up to 250. Any second now. Give it one more rip. Whew. Does get a little warm. Alright. Hope to see you guys again soon. Till next time, suck, blow, and keep on vaping.